Hey guys, Sandy here and welcome back to my channel. Today I am answering the challenge from Crystal at Pineapple Papers. We are both part of the Rediscover Your Stash group on Facebook, and Crystal did a layout with 8 patterned papers, and I said if she did a layout with 8, I would do a layout with 10. So here is my photo. As you guys know, I like milestone numbers. So I am scrapbooking the date that I hit 1,900 subscribers on YouTube back in November. I am starting with this pattern paper right here. It is the B-side of the Chamel field trip, and I am starting with this side. I wanted my base to be something just kind of calm there, since I'm going to be piling on 9 more pattern papers. Let's see what I can do. Of course, I have this gorgeous teal blue paper, and what do? I grab myself some lime green and some pink because I love that color combination. The blue, the lime green, and the pink just make me happy, so that's what I'm going to do. Plus, I'm trying to use 10 different pattern papers, so I need to pull things that I know will work. And I know I have lots of blues, lots of greens, and lots of pink in my stash. So I know that this is not going to be a struggle getting these 10 papers on here. Now, the papers that I am using, let me see. There's still scraps of them on my desk, so hopefully I will be able to tell you what they are. As you guys know, that one below it is from Chamel. The pink paper that I placed on top of the green paper is from Damask Love's Right at Home collection. And that green paper actually is a small floral, and it's like Basic Gray's Best Of Volume 2. I still have a bunch of that paper left. So don't know if that's still available. That was a dumb thing. I know it's not still available, but maybe you guys have it in your stash. Who knows? I did go to my 6x8 paper pads, and I pulled out this star paper. This is from the Never Grow Up collection. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but Chamel's 6x8 journaling pads have a lot of just pattern paper on them now. So, yeah, that was surprising, and I would say in a good and not so good way. Like, I really like the fact that I have the smaller pattern papers, but it makes me sad that the journaling options aren't there. But I'm okay because this star paper works for me. Now I do go into my stash and I pull out some Authentique paper. This is the Lucky collection, and it's from 2014. It is a green and white plaid on one side, and then it has the shamrocks on the other. But I felt like it just read as a nice pattern paper, and you're not really looking at this layout and seeing shamrocks. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern papers now. I go and I pull out this Vicky Bouton paper pad, and I'm just looking for something that will work with it. I decide to go with the dots because I have the multiple colors in with the stars, and now I can bring in more color in with the dots because I don't want it to start just being tink. Oh, that was my dog's name. Pink, teal, and blue. I want to bring in some other colors. So I'm bringing in the, I think I just said pink, teal, and blue. Boy, guys, I'm telling you. Maybe using 10 patterned papers on my layout fried my brain. Who knows? But I'm doing it. We are doing it. Now I am matting my photo on some white cardstock. And I'm doing that to give the photo a little bit of breathing room from all of this pattern paper. Now my pattern paper, all of them are small patterns. There's not a huge pattern like on here yet. I'm doing small, and maybe this polka dot's on the medium size pattern. And the green reads as a solid just because it's tone on tone and it's not striking. There's not like a striking difference in the pattern. So everything is a small pattern. There you can see the green plaid on the back. So nothing is like screaming, this is the center point of my layout. This is like the focal paper. Nothing is screaming that way. And I did that on purpose. I did not want a big, bold pattern for this layout because I knew I was going to have so many on it. I wanted them all to kind of harmonize together and work together, and I didn't want one to be the standalone star. And I think I've succeeded in that. And the entire time I'm doing this, I'm counting the papers, and yes, I am using my finger to count. So I pull out the Chamel Little by Little paper pad, and I'm just looking for something that I can punch out a border. So I'm just flipping through, and I decide to go with this multi-colored wood grain paper. Now, I was just talking about little patterns and smaller patterns. This is a bold pattern. I would call this a bold pattern when it is in its 12 by 12 form, or even when it's in a larger form. But this little scalloped edge, it kind of loses its boldness almost. Like it's not there anymore. And that makes me happy for two reasons. One, I didn't want it to be like the one bold paper in the thing. And then two is I really like this pattern paper and I wanted to use it on a layout, and I didn't know what I was going to do with this. Plus it has all the colors already that I have on my layout. I mean, there's like this little grayish bit between the yellow and the light teal, but honestly that color it's like a neutral. There's no like true color there, so I'm not really concerned about it. And once I get my photo mat down, like you don't even see it because I cover it up. So even though I wasn't that concerned about it, what I decided was I needed my photo to sit like this. I wanted the bigger green space on the top of the photo. So that's what I did. Now, as you guys know, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, I love me a good bold chevron, and I really like cutting it out. As you can see, I've already cut out the chevron before to create on a layout, and this time I decide just to cut out the yellow. Now I toyed with the idea of cutting out the dark navy blue chevron line as well, because I do have the darker blue and the polka dots, and I have that darker blue over there on the right hand side of the page. But I don't do that. I decide that was going to be too much, that was going to be too much of that dark color, and it would turn into this is a statement, this is like the bold piece, and I didn't want that to happen. I do bring in a little bit more of the dark blue by bringing in this Instax camera paper, and even though I don't film with an Instax camera, I totally thought that it would work for this layout, considering it is a YouTube milestone layout. Now, you guys might think that this is a little crazy and a little insane to scrapbook YouTube milestone layouts, but I'm going to tell you guys what I always tell you guys. Scrapbook what makes you happy, and milestone numbers make me happy. So whether I have a milestone number on my YouTube channel or I hit a milestone number while I'm driving in my car on the odometer, that just makes me happy. Okay, I'm not exactly sure why it does. I just like even numbers. I just like it. Makes me happy. So I'm going to scrapbook it. So I do scrapbook them, and I don't catch every time I hit like a milestone number on my YouTube channel, but the ones that I do, I screenshot and I take a pic. Well, obviously that's what a screenshot is, but I print the picture and I scrapbook it, and it's just fun, and it's just something I like. And if that makes me full of myself because I'm scrapbooking milestone numbers, then go for it. But let me tell you something, if I ever hit like a large milestone number, like if I ever hit 5,000 subscribers, I might just cry. I'm just being completely honest with you guys. Like I might just cry if I ever hit 5,000 subscribers. I am on track to hit 2,500 subscribers, which makes me ridiculous happy. So hopefully I'll be able to catch that number when it happens, and then once that happens, I will be hosting a giveaway. So that'll be good. Now I do take this pattern paper, which is a cut apart sheet, and I do use 3 of the squares for the cut apart sheet. So I use this ampersand and I trim it down, I'm also going to use this Make Your Life a Work of Art. It's going to factor into my title. And then I am going to use that star square as well. I'm going to fussy cut out the stars. So I'm thinking that the title is going to be And Make Your Life a Work of Art, but I decide that I don't like that. I'm going to put the title over here on the left-hand side of the page, and then I'm going to use the ampersand over here on the right-hand side of the page. Now, I do have a little bit of the camera paper showing through the yellow chevron line, and I'm okay with it for right now. If it bothers me that much, I'll just trim out the little pieces that poke through the chevron line, and you'll never even know. But like I said, right now, I'm not bothered by it. I think after I get everything on the layout, you barely see them anyway. So if that's bothering you right now, let's wait until the layout's finished. Because I was thinking about it during the layout, but when I finished the layout, I didn't cut them out. So I'm thinking everything seemed to be good. So I am fussy cutting out the stars. I'm sorry, it is off camera. Fussy cutting, you guys, biggest tip, get a pair of scissors that feel comfortable in your hand and just open and close the scissors with your scissor cutting hand. Move the paper and move your opposite arm. And I keep saying I'm going to do a fussy cutting video. I need to make that happen. But I am getting the videos made and finished for the ones that I've been saying I'm going to be doing for a while. I did my album video, that's done. We're going to be filming the scrapbook room layout this week, so that'll be done. And then the fussing cutting, maybe I'll do that on Saturday, because I get ready for work and then scrapbook every day before I go in, and I really don't want to be showing you the red, because I'm going to do the camera angle a little bit different, so we'll see. Anyway, fussy cut out those stars. I am popping them up on some foam squares, and I am just going to pop those up. Now, I am not going to put a whole lot of embellishments on this layout. It's just not going to happen. There's so much pattern and there's so much color that I don't feel like I really need a lot of embellishment. I toyed with the idea of putting a glitter washi across the top of the cameras, that camera strip where it was cut off, and then adding in some sparkly bits as well throughout the page. But I decided not to go with that. I decided not to do that just because I felt like maybe it was getting a little bit over the top. Now, I love me a good more is more scrapbook page. They make me happy. More is more. Like, do what you want. But in this particular circumstance, I just felt like that would have been too much for the layout, because I am getting busy and my photo's already busy, so there's a lot of busy on this page. A lot of busy. I find, though, that usually, I feel like I'm trying to think back to some other Milestone numbers that I've done. Usually for the YouTube, they are kind of busy and they are kind of gaudy, and I think it's just because that's just how I do it. Like, I'm like, okay, it's a YouTube photo. It's like a screenshot. We're just going to put all the stuff on here. We're going to pile it. And, that happens. So this paper right here is the back side of the camera paper. So I'm still counting that as one pattern paper. I'm still going to end up with 10 sheets. So if we count that as a pattern paper, I have 11. If we're not counting that as a pattern paper, there's only 10. I wasn't going to make that decision. We'll let Crystal make that decision. And then the white cardstock as well, just to give it a little bit of like a break. Now I do add more adhesive. I am finding that I am putting enough adhesive on my layouts to get them held together. But I do stack my layouts now and then put them all in at the end of the month, and I do a layout share now. So I feel like my layouts are getting handled a lot more out of the page protectors, so I'm adding a little bit more adhesive to them because I don't want things to fall off, because it's really disappointing to go through your layouts and have either them in the bottom of the page protector, like the things that have fallen off the layout, or when I go through my stack, things have shifted or moved and I'm like, where the heck did that embellishment go? And I can't find it. So that's kind of a sad thing. I do pull out these Dear Lizzie word phrases. And I'm just picking ones that I think can kind of be applied to a YouTube milestone number and my joy of making videos on YouTube. So there's no like real journaling on this. The only thing I actually write is the date that this happened, and that date is November 23rd, 2019. So that's just, you know, I don't feel like these layouts need a lot of journaling. I don't feel like I need to wax poetic. I've journaled on one before where it says, you know, am I going to keep scrapbooking these? And the answer is yes, because it makes me happy. So I don't feel like I need to say that on every single layout. It just doesn't need to be there. So I do pull out these Fitzgerald thickers in teal. I had kind of been hoarding them and not really using them, but I thought, you know what, this would be a perfect place for it. So over there by the ampersand, I write 1900 because that is the YouTube subscriber count that I am celebrating. And then I'm going to spell out YouTube down here. And I use that pre-made word thing right there that I cut out that says, make your life a work of art. And I'm just gonna add some tile letter stickers with the letters O and N. So the title is Make Your Life a Work of Art on YouTube. Or the title can be and 1900. Whatever you want to do, whatever you look at this layout and you think that's a title, or maybe you think there's two titles, or maybe you don't think there's a title whatsoever, that's fine. That's fine. Just look at the layout, be like, whoa, that's a lot of color and fun, and move on to the next layout in my album. Or you could be like, this is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. There's way too much color. It looks like a rainbow puked. I don't care. Like, I mean, this layout makes me happy. There's a lot of color. There's a lot of paper. It's a heavy layout, even though there's not a lot of embellishment on it. And sometimes I just like feeling my layout. Sometimes when it's a heavy layout, it just feels good to hold on to it. And that might be weird, but I'm a very tactile person. I love to touch things. So that just might be my weirdness coming out. And you might be thinking a heavy layout is an atrocity. And that's okay. That's okay. If you like heavy layouts, make them heavy. If you don't make them heavy. And that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And Crystal, I hope I did you proud. I will see you guys again real soon for another video.